Trisha with My Trish Advisor. So today we are in an apartment and we are going to show you some of the things that we have in Mexico that you probably don't have in the US or Canada. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's Trisha. I'm originally from Iowa, and I've been living in Mexico near the Cancun area in a small town called Puerto Morelos for almost 6 years. My goal is to show you guys what it's like to visit here, encourage you to visit here, and also a lot of people have questions about living here because I've lived here for 6 years. So today we're gonna go over those things that we have here that we probably don't have in the US or Canada. And if you are planning on either visiting or moving to the area, you can actually check out my website, mytrishadvisor.com, where I have tours and transfers to help you get around, because I know what it's like to come to a country and you don't know anything or anybody, but I always tell everybody it's like you have a friend in Mexico that's here to help you. So let's get into the video. So we are gonna literally start from the top down. So we're gonna go up this ladder right here. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about these guys in a second. But like I said, we're gonna talk about from the top first. Oof. Oof. Okay, you see that thing? It's called a tinaco. Oof. Let me see if I can get up here. Oh man. See you guys. Whew. Don't try this at home. I had to come up here on the roof because this is where the tinaco is located. Tinaco is basically a water reservoir that holds your water for the house. So for example, this place is 2 apartments. So upstairs it has this, but we actually have another one down below on the first floor. Now the main things about these is that we've had issues because sometimes the pump doesn't work, sometimes it overflows. I mean, it can be really a pain, but this is definitely something I've never seen in the United States. But basically there's a pump that pumps the water up there, and then you get your water pressure from that, and that's why a lot of places don't have as high of water pressure. You have to add a pump in order to get it a higher water pressure, let's say. So I've lived with like kind of a low water pressure for most of the time, but when I decided I wanted something more high pressure, I just added a pump. So let's take a look inside. Now, very common, you'll see like these flown off, and I'm very careful about those because what happens is inside you get these deposits of like limestone. So we have the water has a lot of limestone in it here, so that's really the reason why they tell you not to drink the water here. Not because it's poison or anything like that, but it has a lot of limestone. Of course, with old pipes and all that, you can have a whole other issue, but this is the tinaco that's on the roof, and that it's clean. And even if you're renting, make sure that they're cleaned and maintained regularly. So the next thing, I was able to get down just fine. So the next thing that you'll see that we have in Mexico are these little gas tanks. These are the 20-liter gas tanks, and basically with these are outside, which you'll see is very common. So with these gas tanks, you'll do your cooking and you'll get the hot water from these gas tanks. Now, I don't like it because you'll be in the middle of cooking and you'll run out of gas. And so I have actually bought an electric stove in those cases, and of course having an extra gas tank that's full. But there's been times that I've forgotten to get the second one full and I have an empty one, and so I have no gas. And if you guys are not familiar with Mexico, basically what happens is there's a truck that drives around with these gas tanks going like Zeta, Zeta, Zeta gas, or El gas. and you just run out and get them. Or of course, if you save their number like I have, because in case of an emergency, you got to get your gas. So I have gas. Never thought I'd be so happy to say that. But yes, so that's one of the things. We do not have direct line hookups for gas in most parts of Mexico. And let me add to this is that this is not all of Mexico. This is not all houses. As far as like everything that I'm talking about, many places, let's say, have upgraded or done other things besides what I'm mentioning in this entire video. So just keep that in mind. But many places are set up like what I'm speaking of in this entire video. So on to the next. Oh, and you haven't noticed, if you haven't noticed, this is my new hair. It's really curly today because I put some, oh, I'm sweaty Betty. I put some curl stuff in it. But if you guys haven't seen my last video, it's like beauty prices in Mexico. That will be in the, like a little card here at the top. You guys can click that, or I'll put it in the link in the description box. But what do you think? I love it. It's a little shorter than I anticipated, but it needed the cut. Okay, so the next thing is we're gonna talk about the garrafones. So if you guys are not familiar, we do use these garrafones for drinking water. We have a very fancy schmancy pump here that you'll pump the water in order to get it. And a lot of people ask like, oh, can we drink the water? In Mexico, I don't drink it, but what I say, I tell everybody, I do brush my teeth with it. I do wash my fruits and vegetables with it. But again, that's based on as long as the tinaco is clean. We had found, I think like 2 years ago, like a dead bird in ours. That was not fun. So you want to make sure they're clean. If it has limestone, big woohoo. But if it has an animal or animals or little guys swimming around, you don't want that. So this is how we use our drinking water. Many places here in Mexico, you'll see that they have many usually stored underneath or in other places of the house for drinking water. Okay, I'm excited to go and show you the next one because this one is about AC. We use what's called mini splits. Now in the United States, a lot of people have central air. These are what's called mini splits. On the roof, which I should have shown you while I was up there, there's like the condenser is on the roof, and then down here is where the fan and the air, or I guess the air is pushed out. So in Mexico, everything's in Celsius. We usually leave it at between 23 and 26 Celsius, which is like 76 to 79 degrees in Fahrenheit. A tip about this is that I tell everybody when using AC, I learned this just recently. Our energy bill was about 2,800 pesos or about $150 for 2 months. And Diego told me, stop turning it off and turning it on because you use more electricity. Well, our bill went from 2,800 to 1,800 by actually leaving it on longer. So my best tip I can give you is if you're gonna be gone less than 6 hours, yes, leave it on. If you're gonna be gone more than 6 hours, yeah, turn it off, because that just means that it's gonna take more time to like cool it off again. So like I said, for us, I was turning it off at like 4 o'clock in the morning thinking I was saving energy when we were sleeping. And then I turn it back on at like 9:30 in the morning. And our bill, we ended up saving $50 for the 2 months, because in Mexico we get billed every 2 months. So that's how we saved money, and that's my encouragement. Whether you're renting an Airbnb or staying at a friend's house, that's one way that you can actually help them save money and be efficient, because these rooms, many rooms, we only cool one at a time. So in the evenings, you're in your bedroom, you cool this room. We don't usually cool the entire place. You just cool the space that you're using at the time. And it's just, actually it's much more efficient and effective, and actually I really like it because I feel like a lot of the houses in the US, they'll cool like all of the 2,500 square feet and you'll only be in the bedroom or you'll only be in the living room or kitchen. So to me, this just makes a lot more sense in general. So the next item brings us outside. This is the lavadora. Look at that. So this is an option that is almost always on any houses, even the newer houses I've seen built. They're usually in the back, like where we're at now, and next to connections for a washer. So you can see in the inside here where it has like the ridges to wash your clothes, and then there's like an area here to have holding water. So this is something that I've only seen in Mexico. I'm sure it's in other countries as well, I would assume. But here in Mexico, we have a lavadora that is hand wash, like for hand washing. And then of course, there's washers like this that are usually right next to it. And that leads us to another thing you guys probably don't use very often is probably a line outside. Now in Mexico, it's almost, I think 80% of the people I know that are from Mexico and do their laundry, hang their laundry. I've been doing it for over 5 years. I have not used a dryer, although I did stay at my friend's house the other day and I used a dryer, and they are softer. They're not as like crunchy. But you can see one of my videos. It was how to hang laundry like a Mexican, and I'll put that in the description box above, or I mean, sorry, the little tab above here. You can take a look at that, but it's kind of funny because when the clothes dry, sometimes you'll see the pieces of where they hang. So we have 2 more things we're going to talk about, and one of them seems to be kind of a big deal for some people, but that is in Mexico we have trash next to the toilet because we don't put our toilet paper in the toilet. I've heard many different reasons, but basically they don't have the same type of plumbing. In many areas, like the resorts and stuff, they do allow it, and certain houses have different systems, but many houses do not have the proper type of plumbing to flush toilet paper. We've gotten really used to it, and after you live in Mexico for a little while, but at first it was really kind of awkward and weird, but it just kind of comes with the territory. There's some things that you'll just adapt to, and especially when you live here, you start to realize like it's not that big a deal. And then the last thing is, I don't know if you can tell the thickness on this wall, but it's got to be like 8 inches. This is an interior wall, and it's solid block. One of the first things I realized here is that when we go through like big storms, I don't hear anything. Like it's quiet. I go outside and I'm like, whoa, what happened? I don't understand why the US doesn't do more buildings like this, because it is super, super solid. So that's the interior wall. Now, obviously when you're hanging things like these guys, you got to put like in an anchor, and you have to like drill. It's a bit of a hassle, but man, when something's hung, it's hung and it's there forever. But that is the interior wall, and it's literally everywhere, and even the exterior walls. Look at that. So I used to sell insulation back in the day in California, and man, I'm gonna tell you, this is an insulator for keeping the heat in and keeping the heat out. So that's it. What are some of the things that surprised you? What are some of the things that you're curious to know more information about or questions? Please put that in the comments below. But I hope you guys liked the video. I wanted to do just kind of something really simple and basic, because I realize there's a lot of things that I live with every day, and I don't even realize how unique it is to living in Mexico because I just don't notice it anymore. So anyways, that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I hope you enjoyed last week's video, and please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Nos vemos pronto en Mexico. ¡Viva Mexico!